Hey guys, Vasilius here, and today I am back at r slash PettyRevenge for day number 28. We've got 4 last episodes, including this one, and I've got 5 stories lined up for at least maybe 5, maybe 4. I don't know exactly yet. But newsflash: other people exist. After work today at 4 p.m, I had to get gas. Understandably, right before rush hour, there was a small line for the 4 pumps. When it's my turn, a total douchebag drives in the one-way exit and parks his car, still running in front of the exit and diagonally in front of me, with the door open, blocking the exit for everyone on both sides of the pumps. He proceeds to walk towards the station building, either oblivious or douchey or both. I look to my right and see 5 or 6 parking spaces 25 feet to the right of the douchebag are wide open. I tersely say, "Can you use one of the parking spaces?" Not particularly polite, but not super rude. His response, without looking at me, "Shut up." While he's inside and I'm seething, I can see that we can all get by if he just closed his door. Inconvenient, but not the end of the world. So I walk over to his car, expecting to discreetly close the door. Oh hey, his windows are up. Oh hey, his keys are in the ignition. Oh hey, all the doors are locked. With a big smile, I close his door firmly, finish pumping my gas, and watch with glee as he tried to open his now locked and running car while I pulled away. Just close the door on your problems and they go away. Nice. It's just like, there's a whole huge parking space, and you couldn't be bothered. Bruh. You gotta be dumb to not think of other people. Next up, Pandemic Petty. TLDR, Karen tries using Corona fear to shorten grocery store line. I'm not having any of it. So I wasn't a victim of this Karen, but I was the enactor of the PettyRevenge. In the midst of this pandemic, a lot of businesses are limiting the number of people that could be in the store at one time. I was going to the grocery store across the street when I see the massive line. Now there were only like 50 people in line, but by following the 6 feet 2 meter rule, this line was physically pretty long. I needed some stuff and the weather was nice, so I just decided to wait and take this opportunity to relax. Now this Karen in front of me is on the phone with someone complaining about how long the line is and how big of a hurry she's in. This woman has the full mask, gloves, goggles, hairnet, don't know what that is for, and a custom shirt that says, "Stop, stay 6 feet away from me." Anytime someone passing along the sidewalk came close, she dodged them to stay away. About 10 minutes pass and there's only 30 people in line in front of us when this woman, early mid-20s, who is 4 places ahead of Karen, sneezes into her sleeve. Now I want to take this opportunity to say that sneezing is not a symptom of COVID-19. It is not indicative of one's status. It's April and springtime, and as someone who has suffered my whole life with allergies, I can tell the difference between I'm sick sneeze and a pollen tickled my nose sneeze. This was an allergy sneeze, but Karen felt like she had just discovered a bioterrorism plot. Interesting wording on that. She begins yelling at the poor girl. Keep in mind, this girl and Karen are still like 30 feet or 9 meters away, so Karen is literally yelling. Karen is mainly giving a soapbox lecture on how this girl is endangering the community and Karen's kids for not following self-quarantine orders when she obviously has the virus. She, of course, calls the employee monitoring the door over, who sends out the manager. We all know Karen would have called for the manager eventually, am I right? Yeah. The manager tries to figure out the situation while Karen friends call the cops to arrest the girl. Eventually, the girl just gives up and leaves. She'll come back later or go to a different store. This satiates Karen, and I'm more than convinced she was just looking for excuses to kick people out of line and speed up her entry. As someone who works in diseases, I have seen how flat out stupid people have been in regards to this disease, and have been and decide that Karen's actions of nearly starting a panic just shouldn't go unpunished. The temperature was 88 degrees Fahrenheit, 32 degrees Celsius-ish, which isn't really hot, but since it was the first day to break past 65 F, I could definitely tell it definitely felt warmer. People were definitely sweating, and considering how long people were waiting outside in the sun, people were getting a good dosage of heat. I waited until Karen was the next person in the store when I noticed she was definitely fanning herself. Right before the door clerk said it was okay, I asked her, "Ma'am, are you feeling okay? You look a little warm, kind of feverish." She snapped back, "I'm fine, it's just the sun, mind your business." The door guard caught on to what I was hinting at and agreed. "Miss, we'll have to take your temperature." And he radioed the monitors. The store has a thermal gun to detect the temperature of anyone suspicious. I've never seen them use it, but I knew that they had it. She cried, "Why? It's just because I've been in the sun. You didn't check anyone else's temperature." He said, "It's just a policy to check anyone who looks feverish." The guy comes and takes her temperature. 100.7 Fahrenheit, which is 38 degrees Celsius. Just over the 100.4 F limit the store set. The temperature guy informs her that she will not be allowed to enter the store for public safety. She begins to throw a conniption fit, saying, "It's the sun, I'm not sick, test him." They do. I get a 99.9 F. The guy informs me that I can now enter the store. I thank him and go in to grab my milk while I can still hear Karen still yelling. I hope she was able to get her essential Pinot Grigio somewhere. Just not here. Side note, most grocery stores have an early window to allow elderly shoppers to come in with lower risk of infection. Almost suggested that if she wanted to avoid contamination, she should do that. She was no older than 45, but knew that would piss her off. You gotta know your COVID problems. Like, if you know your COVID, you're gonna get in trouble. Like, you can get other people in trouble without even trying. Call me a whore? Good luck buying new clothes. I live with my son's father and his family for a while after my son was born. He and I have broken up since, thank God. It was only supposed to be mutually beneficial, but turned into me and my son's grandfather being the only people working and paying the bills in the house. My ex-mother hated me. My ex's mother hated me. She didn't really have a reason to. She just hated any woman that she thought showed her up. Which wasn't really hard since her main job was holding down the couch most of the day to make sure it didn't run away. I hope she's fat if that's the case. I should not say that out loud. Why did I say that out loud? I turned a blind eye to all the shit she talked about me and blamed me for. But one day she took it too far. It was my mum's 60th birthday. Her friends planned to take her out to eat, then to a neighborhood bar for a couple of drinks. They invited me along. The morning of her birthday, I put on some nicer makeup and clothes than I usually do for work. It was a nicer restaurant and I wanted to look appropriate. I was gone for about 2 hours. When I came home, I walked past her and she called me a whore. That bitch. That was the straw that broke the camel's back. I was pissed. I quietly plotted my revenge. Pretended everything was fine for about 2 weeks until I had a chance to put my plan into place. She had all-day plans on a Saturday, and for once, I was all alone in the house. She was a larger woman, so she really didn't have too many clothes that actually fit that she could wear. Okay, cool. She is slightly big. Perfect. Perfect. Works out for the joke. Not being offensive. I went to her closet. I even took photos of where the clothes were hung and how they were placed. Then I took all those clothes and put them in the washer on the sanitize setting. If you don't know, the sanitize setting is water that gets up to 220 degrees, which will shrink just about anything. I made sure to dry them on the hottest setting too. Then I carefully hung them back up exactly as they were, using my photos for guidance. The next day was glorious. She went to get dressed and had absolutely nothing fit. She had a meltdown in her room, calling her family, bawling about how she didn't understand how she could have gained so much weight in a week. She refused to have a scale in the house. She just went by how her clothes fit. Perfect karma, isn't it? The next few days of watching her pull and tug at her clothes always brought a smile to my lips. I don't know if she ever bought new clothes. I broke up with her son shortly after and never looked back. TLDR, push someone too far and that person will eventually push back. It is not right to call someone a whore. I would not be amazed if OP was wearing an outfit that did not show any side boob or nothing of that level, and the mother, like the son's mother, still has to go and be like, whore. Okay, one last story. Didn't pay it forward to Karen. So this morning I had to take my puppy to the vet. Nothing serious, just time for his next booster shot. On the way to his vet appointment, I decided to stop for coffee. I'm not a huge Starbucks fan, but the drive-thru is nice with my puppy in the car, so I decided to go there. The line was super long and out the entrance a bit. Your typical Karen driving a Ford Explorer packed with kids lines up and pulls up behind me and immediately lays on the horn. There's nowhere for me to go because the line is just crazy long, so I don't move. Karen then decides that every time the guy in front of me rolls even an inch, she's going to immediately lay on the horn. This goes on for the entire line all the way up to the window. I finally get to the window and go to pay, but the girl excitedly tells me that the guy in front of me paid for my coffee. In fact, they have a streak now of the past 8 people buying for the person behind them, where I like to pay for the person behind me. I took my coffee and told the girl, that's really nice of them, but I'm not paying for the lady behind me. She's being a dick this whole time. And then I drove away. You didn't even have to do anything for that PettyRevenge. The Karen did all the work for you, and you just put the cherry on top of, you don't get paid. Bitch. Anyways, I'm gonna end this episode here. Links will be in the description to my main channel and also the channel that you're on right now, where links on the screen to the last episode and the playlist are located at this moment. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know when the next video comes out. A ding, a ding. And Mad Scientist out.